Alright, so you guys have been asking me, what lenses do I use? Hi, I'm John Beer, so happy to see your beautiful face, and today I'm going to share with you the lenses that I use and why I use them and when I use them. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm John Beer. I'm an Icelandic dude with a camera, so I talk about camera stuff and just how to make better videos. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because that really helps me out. Alright, first off is the Panasonic 12-35 f2.8. This baby right here is my vlog lens. It is my vlog lens for many reasons. One of them is how small it is. Second of all, it's fairly fast. And most importantly, it has autofocus. When you're making a vlog, autofocus is important because, you don't want to be tinkering with your camera. When you're vlogging, you just want to film whatever's around you, right? That said, I use this pretty much only for vlogs. I don't use it for anything else. It's got a very generous zoom and it's stabilized. Next up is the Kamlan 50mm f1.1. 1.1? That's crazy! Yep, 1.1. Wow. I absolutely adore this lens. This lens is so fast, I can practically use it at night and it will see about as bright as the human eye. On a Micro Four Thirds camera, no less. This is by far my favorite lens to film with in an urban setting because it's quite tight and you can use it at night. And, it's fairly small. So it's not very obvious when you're filming other people. I'm not encouraging you to spy on people, but I'm saying with this lens you totally can. The 50mm focal range gives you a very cinematic feel, especially on a Micro Four Thirds camera with the crop that you're given. My friend Nigel, co-host of the La Film Nation podcast, recently shot an indie film with 50mm lens most of the time. They ended up going with this focal range because it just looks so good all the time. And it's very time efficient because when you're on set, you have big lights and stuff everywhere. So with a tight focal range, you can hide all the stuff just outside the frame. It just makes it easier to have the light nearby. It makes it easier to have the audio nearby. So for run and gun in urban settings, as well as shooting on professional set, this lens will rock. Finally, this lens is only about $250 for the Mark II, which is an absolute steal. The downside is it's a manual lens, so it doesn't have autofocus, but to me, that's not a downside at all. That just makes it a better lens and better experience altogether. Just look at those gears. Ooh, just turning these gears. So much fun. Finally, we have the master lens, the lens that lives on my camera. 80% of the time, it's the Sigma 18-35 f1.8. which I'm filming with right now. This lens is a Canon lens that I've adapted with a speed booster. If you've been following this channel, you know that I love this lens, but not only me. A vast majority of people using Lumix cameras will say the same. This lens is amazing for video. It's practically a zoom cinema lens that you've adapted to your Micro Four Thirds camera. And the speed booster that connects it will actually make the focal crop wider than an EF camera. This lens is used so much, I still see it everywhere in videos that I'm watching. I've seen Peter McKinnon use it on his cinema cameras and I've seen Potato Jet use it all the time. It's just an all-around super reliable cinema grade lens. And best of all, it's affordable. When this lens is adapted to the GH5 camera that I'm using now, you just get this magical look. Just incredible bokeh. Like it would be challenging for me to use this lens and get a bad image out of it. So I guess I want to finally close off this video by saying that I am using a Panasonic Lumix GH5 Micro Four Thirds camera, and I just want to say how much I love the Micro Four Thirds camera system. Micro Four Thirds cameras with a smaller sensor means that you can adapt pretty much any lens to it. There's a vast amount of vintage lenses that you can adapt to your camera. As well, you can adapt any Canon lens with a speed booster. So having a Micro Four Thirds camera gives you the freedom of using something small and compact like this, but it also gives you the freedom to go with a bigger, heavier lens like the Sigma 18-35 if you so choose. And that freedom and diversity is what makes me really love the Panasonic GH5 camera. And the camera is stabilized, so any vintage lens that I use on this camera body will be stabilized as well. It's just mind-blowing how good this camera is. And furthermore, Micro Four Thirds cameras are way cheaper than the larger sensor equivalents that you can find on the market. If you want to find links for any of the lenses or anything that I've talked about in this video, all of the links are in the description as always. I hope you found this video informative. If you did, hit that like button. I'm John Bear. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!